Hello guys, we are from Group 8 and today we will talk about a positive or extra information clause. First, let me introduce the member of Group 8. They are Naura, Husna, Najat, Habib, Devi, Shava, and me, Octavia. Here is the table of content of materials that we will talk about later in this video. We are gonna talk about the definition, characteristic, types, some example of a positive, and there are some quizzes at the end of this video.
Before we start with the material, which is appositives, we might want to look at the definition of appositives itself. So, appositives is a word or a group of words that describe or even identify the pronoun or noun right beside it. It can come before or after the main noun or noun group, and it can be a short or a long combination of words. And it usually set off by using commas, unless it is closely related to the pronoun or noun it describes. In short, appositives is a bonus information. Since appositives add additional information to a sentence, most appositives can be completely removed from the sentence, and the sentence will still be grammatically correct. There are two types of appositive phrases. First one is restrictive and non-restrictive, which will be explained later on by my friend. Moving on to the next slide, we have the characteristics of appositives. So these are some of the characteristics that I conclude while learning about the material that hopefully can help to locate and understand appositive better. First, an appositive is set apart with specific punctuation, which is usually commas. Second, appositive phrases appear beside the noun or pronoun they are renaming or describing. Third, appositive phrases add a deeper description to the sentence. And the last one, these phrases are either essential or non-essential to the overall meaning. And what I mean by essential is when the appositive phrase is necessary to the sentence's meaning. On the other hand, when a sentence still makes sense without the appositive is considered non-essential.
Okay, and then we go into the next topic. Appositives can be nouns, noun phrases, and noun clauses. As we know, a positive always further identify a noun or pronoun in the sentence. And an appositive can be more than just a single noun. Positives can be a single word or a multiple word noun phrase. For the first form of appositive as nouns. Example, my friend Donnie plays basketball. This example identifies a noun friend with the single word apposite Donnie. The word Donnie supports the word my friend by explaining more specific. The speaker wants to explain who is the friend that he means. So, the speaker uses single word apposite Donnie. Next. Okay, and then we move into the other appositive. There is appositive as a noun phrase. The noun phrase appositive is a positive that uses noun phrase to apposite the other words. For the example, that book, the green one with the torn cover, was donated by Donnie. In this example, the noun phrase, the green one with the torn cover, is the appositive. The appositive further explains the subject, that book. Noun phrase is group of words that longer than noun but didn't contain subject and verb. So, we use the word the green one with the torn cover. And then there is no subject and verb into it. After it, the third is appositive as a noun clauses. The following grammatical form that can perform the grammatical function of appositive is noun clauses. Noun clauses are defined as subordinate clauses that consist of a subordinating conjunction followed by a clause. For example, Please help Donnie, the boy that I like a lot, as possibly as you can. In this example, we know the noun clause the boy that I like a lot is the appositive. It's a noun clause because it contains subject and verb. In this example, the noun clause explains Donnie as the boy that I like a lot. Next.
What is an appositive phrase? An appositive phrase is a group of words consisting of an appositive and its modifiers. Like a single word appositive phrases appear beside the noun or pronoun they are renaming. Appositive phrases add a deeper description just as single appositives do. So how to use appositive phrases correctly in a sentence? They are easy to identify and simple to use in sentences. Writers keep on making mistakes when using appositive phrases in their writing. To use this phrase correctly, keep in mind these three following things. An appositive phrase follows the noun or pronoun it describes. An appositive phrase can appear at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. An appositive phrase is not a complete sentence on its own since it doesn't have a subject nor predicate. Commas are the main area where people tend to make mistakes when using appositive phrases. There are instances where commas are necessary while others are not. A comma is only necessary when the appositive phrase does not provide crucial information in a sentence. So here is an example. The outgoing principal Margaret Lennon could become the longest-serving principal in the history of our school. In the absence of an appositive phrase, this sentence would be, the outgoing principal could become the longest-serving principal in the history of our school. In this sentence, we don't know who the principal is, since Margaret Lennon is essential information, so there is no need for a comma.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about types of appositive phrase. Most appositive and appositive phrase are non-restrictive. That is, they can be removed from the sentence and the sentence will still be grammatically correct. An appositive noun or phrase is non-restrictive if we know exactly who the writer is referring to when the appositive is removed. Non-restrictive appositive simply add extra information and they need commas around them. On the other hand, a restrictive appositive cannot be removed from the sentence. An appositive noun or phrase is restrictive if it narrows down the word it modifies. It tells which one of the noun you are writing about. A restrictive appositive noun or phrase is necessary to the meaning of the sentence. If you remove a restrictive appositive phrase, the sentence will sound like it is missing something. It is not separated from the rest of the sentence by commas. Let's see this example in the next slide. A positive example. My friend Sari plays tennis. My friend Sari plays tennis. The first example is non-restrictive and can be removed from the sentence without changing the meaning of the sentence. The first example also implies that I have more than one friend. The appositive identifies the specific friends to whom I am referring. The second example is restrictive and cannot be removed from the sentence without changing the meaning of the sentence. The second example implies that I only have one friend and that her name is Sari. I don't need to specify which friend with an appositive because she is the only one person to whom I am referring.
Now, let's discuss about appositive after and before noun. An appositive can come before or after the main noun, and it can be at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. It has to sit beside the noun it defines. As a noun phrase, an appositive doesn't have a subject or a predicate, and so doesn't express a complete thought. So here the example of appositive after noun. I'm looking forward to having rendang, my favorite food for dinner. The word rendang is the noun, and the word my favorite food is the appositive noun phrase. Little John, my youngest nephew, is feeling sick. The word Little John is the noun, and the word my youngest nephew is the appositive noun phrase. Now, let's move on to the example of appositive before noun. A very strong man, Uncle Henry, was able to carry the entire pallet of bricks by himself. The word a very strong man is a positive noun phrase, and the word Uncle Henry is the noun. My college roommate, James, lives in Bogor now. The word my college roommate is a positive noun phrase, and the word James is the noun.
When a sentence contains too many appositive, the meaning of the sentence can become confusing and the sentence itself difficult to read. Furthermore, overuse of appositive can lead to confusion regarding which noun an appositive is renaming. Example with too many appositive: I, Mia, have a friend, Victor, who plays tennis, a very technical sport, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Here, the overuse of appositive negatively interrupts the flow of the sentence. Appositive should add content to a sentence to make the writing more concise, but not in such a way that they create confusing syntax. In this case, the writer should break up this information into multiple sentences. Correct example: I have a friend, Victor, who plays tennis, a very technical sport. He plays every Saturday and Sunday.
After studying the material about the appositive, now let's get some quiz to enhance our understanding. So the first quiz is, we should highlight the appositive found in each sentence below and underline its noun. Number 1, my friend Joshua sings a good song. In this number, we can identify a noun friend with the one-word appositive Joshua that gives us extra information about the subject. And number 2, the American boy Vernon should come this morning. In this number, the noun phrase the American boy is the appositive, and the appositive further explain the subject Vernon. And the last one is Kuma, the dog that lives next door, barks at the mailman. Different from the previous one, in this number, the dog is the appositive noun. This appositive noun, along with the modifiers that lives next door, forms an appositive phrase. The next quiz is, we should combine the following sentences using appositive phrases. So number 1, we get those sentences. The California coastline is the longest of all the states, and the California coastline is a national treasure. So we can combine two sentences above to become the California coastline, a national treasure, is the longest of all the states. The California coastline is the longest of all the states is the core of this sentence, and a national treasure is an appositive noun that gives us extra information about the state. Next, number 2, the first sentence is curling is a fun sport, and the second one is it is played on ice with brooms and a large stone. We can combine two sentences to become curling, a sport played on ice with brooms and a large stone, is fun. A sport is the appositive noun. This appositive noun, along with the modifiers plays in ice with brooms and a large stone, forms an appositive phrase. Number 3, there's two sentences. Hermione Granger is a witch at Hogwarts School, and she is accomplished at spells. So we can combine the two sentences to become Hermione Granger, a witch at Hogwarts School, is accomplished at spells. The core of these sentences is Hermione Granger is accomplished at spells, and a witch at Hogwarts School is an appositive noun phrase that gives us additional information about Hermione Granger. You have watched our video about appositive, and we hope this video helps you understand the appositive material. So thank you very much and see you.